Welcome back to Switch Stars, my name's Luke and I'm back once again with another potential eShop gem as we check out Turbo Dash Kart Racing from those lovely people over at GameToTopCorp, aka Midnight Works. Now if you're looking for a cheap Mario Kart alternative, there are plenty on offer on the Switch and I recommend checking out my top Mario Kart's alternative video for some suggestions. But will this one be making the cut? Well, drop a like, subscribe for more Switch content, and let's find out. So as per usual, the menu in this one looks like it was ripped straight from a mobile game, and unlike other kart races where you have an assortment of vehicles readily available to you, in Turbo Dash you have to earn coins from completing races to then purchase new vehicles from a cash shop, and each of them can be upgraded to increase the speed, handling and nitro meter. So you can already see where we're going here. It's one of those grindy races where in order to progress you need to keep buying new cards to keep up with the opponents. Getting into the gameplay though, despite the eShop's claims that Turbo Dash comes with multiple game modes, including career, time trial, quick race and championship modes, the game is actually broken down into chapters, each with 10 separate races to complete, and these come in a few different flavours. You have the standard 3-lap races, 5-lap sprint races where the player in last place is knocked out each lap, and finally one-on-one duels which usually come at the end of a chapter. As expected though, the racing in the game is very simple and there's very little to learn here. You steer the kart with the left thumbstick and, again unlike other kart races, you don't even have to accelerate as the game actually does that for you, with the ZR button instead used to fire off weaponry obtained from pickups strewn about the track. But you also have a nitro meter which is filled by drifting and gives you a short boost of speed. Now it was immediately apparent that this one is not a kart racer for fans of things like Mario Kart and is instead aimed at very young children who are perhaps picking up a kart racer for the first time. The tracks in the game, which the eShop description claims to be dynamic and intricate, are for the most part incredibly short loops with very little separating one from the other apart from perhaps the themes, and while there are a couple of obstacles thrown into the mix every now and then, they're all pretty much the same. Now the game's pickups offer various ways to gain the upper hand and include both offensive and defensive abilities. You have oil slicks and slime pools which you can drop onto the track to slow your opponents down, a damaging flame barrier and a shield which defends you from a single attack, dynamite which can be tossed out ahead of you, and a missile which once fired will lock onto the opponent in front of you and continue indefinitely until it hits them, and even if you're in first place this will continue around the entire track and hit the opponent in last place. When it comes to the racing though, there's pretty much zero challenge here. From the get-go, your kart will be way faster than all of your opponents, so you'll pretty much be in first place throughout the first 5 races, and after this you'll immediately find yourself falling behind as your opponents receive the first upgrades. This is where the coinage becomes a necessity, but the cash flow in the game is pretty lackluster, with you earning around 750 coins per race, and the karts are pretty damn expensive, though there are a bunch of challenges to complete to earn you a little extra cash. Despite this issue though, fully upgrading your speed will see you back in first place for at least the next 20 races. Now there's very little else to be said about this one, it's pretty much your standard kart racer simplified for kids with some mobile-like cash shop features to keep you playing, and I could sit here and criticise its lack of depth. However, unlike a lot of GameToTop's titles that I've played, this one actually feels pretty complete. The racing is relatively solid despite simplicity and I didn't encounter any game-breaking bugs, so I'm loath to say it, but Turbo Dash Kart Racing is actually a decent little kart racer for the price. Yes, it's a grindy slog of a game and with no option for multiplayer you're restricted to playing it solo, but if you're a parent with a young child and a strap for cash, it's potentially a decent option. All this being said though, I personally can't recommend buying the game simply due to the fact that it's published by GameToTopCorp, and it's pretty much all been confirmed that this publisher is in fact Midnight Works in disguise, who are basically the biggest scam game producers on the Switch. If you haven't heard of them though, or their fraudulent marketing practices, then I recommend checking out my Scam Games playlist. But as you can see that even with this one they couldn't be honest, and rather than pitching it as a child-friendly kart racer, they went ahead and lied about the game's modes and intricate track designs. So that was Turbo Dash Kart Racing on the Switch. Not quite the scam I was expecting, but not one that I can recommend either, simply due to my own moral compass. Let me know down below though what you thought of it, and be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Switch content. But for now, thanks once again for watching, take care of yourselves, and game on.